Oh, well, of course, you may say, I can't see that much good in the world. I can see all the bad things. I've been watching the daily news for years. I've been brought up on it. And I say, yes, well, you need to get away from the daily news in some ways, unless you can find truly good news. Let me preoccupy your mind with something else for a moment. That you exist, that you're experiencing life, that when you were born, it's highly likely your parents were delighted. It's happened to them, they're now a parent. Perhaps they've longed for a child. And they want to make sure you're okay. Do you see? You matter to them. You mattered enough for them to look after you, feed you, care for you, and possibly love you to bits. It's just a total gift by them. And by society too. I mean, I've got a wonderful society. I've come from one in England that looks after its elderly, pensions. And I've come to New Zealand, which does the same. Wow. It just cares for me. I may be giving nothing back to the state, really. I mean, I hope to goodness I'm a blessing here to people, but you know. But they don't check that. They just give. I say they, I mean, you know, it's a system, it's a state, it's a society. Who do I thank? Well, I thank God for having brought it about. I mean, yeah, possibly through the state, through mum and dad, through, all the kindnesses that you've received, just legion upon legion of goodness. Every day, the breath, your heart been ticking for the last N years, continuously. Breath coming and going. You've been afforded air to breathe, food to eat, place to be, people to talk to. You've been taught everything from language to hygiene to how to live to how to work. It's staggering, all that you've received. Thank you, Dad. Do you see? What your mind is preoccupied with is everything. So you seek good company. You seek the awareness of all that is good, good people. The goodness in even bad people. Don't like calling people bad, but you know what I mean, don't you? You know, it's a sunny day, how lovely. It's a wet day, how nice. I'm dry indoors. It's raining now and I'm in the wet. How nice. Because it won't last forever. It's highly likely there'll come another day when it's sunny and lovely and I can enjoy it all again. And perhaps this rain is reminding me it's a good idea to have somewhere to keep dry. Might be an idea to make provision for such in the future. And so this wet day makes tomorrow a blessing. I'm come that you might have life. And life is not dwelling upon all that's bad and evil. It's praising God, which is the dwelling on all that you attribute to God to be good. You attribute. If you attribute evil to him, my goodness, you'll be so depressed and miserable. You go out and hang yourself in the end. It's your only way out. And we don't want that to happen. I realised, as I say, Mum was suicidal much of the time, and a great stress that was to me as a child, because I loved her. I also loved myself too. I thought, what's going to happen to me without Mum? I don't believe Dad's going to love and care for me. Because that was Mum's view. In fact, Dad might not have loved and cared in the same way as Mum, but he would actually, I think, almost for certain, provided for me. Because he always did the right thing. From a sort of conventional society point of view. The boy needs a new coat. Here's the money. You can get him a new coat. I mean, didn't call me Marshall, but wasn't going to have me not have the right clothing or the right bag. His Mum. I bought this nice briefcase. That's a nice briefcase, dear. Yeah, I bought it. How much did it cost, dear? Oh, and I told her it was a few pounds, which was a lot of money to me. And I'm not sure. I don't think she gave me that. But anyway, she made sure that she paid. Dad gave me the money, But of course, Dad would have paid, but people love in different ways. It's not always like Mum. Sometimes it's like Dad. Sometimes they love the same way, sometimes they don't. They love in a different way. And yes, it is true, sometimes they don't love at all. But then perhaps Auntie does, or Grandma, or the lady that rescues you, or the mate at school that comes to your rescue, like my friend Dennis. I had someone work me over in the lunchtime at school. And my friend Dennis, who was a year older than me, and you could say feared in the school to some extent, picked this guy up and bounced him against the wall a few times. He never touched me again. Do you see? My friend Dennis came to my rescue, didn't he? Bless him. I've not forgotten. Do you see, whatsoever's good and lovely, yes, from your point of view, might not be too godly. Might be the fact that you've got another dose of the drugs that you're addicted to. Okay. You're going to take them, aren't you? Yeah. Well, you thank God for them. He's provided them. But they're feeding my addiction. Yes, but you're desperate for it at the minute. And that's how He's provided. And the more you realize He provides and loves and cares for you, the more you'll realize He's going to find a way for you to come out. Because He's your God. He personifies what you value and you love. Who else could you love but Him? Bless you, and you are blessed. And the more you focus on whatever you find to be good and lovely, the more your love of God will come to your rescue. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Of course He's good. Personification of what you value. He's not some other person's God. It's not the priest's God, or the state's God, or the church's God, or the neighbour's God, or your parents' God. No, it's your God. The qualities that you ascribe to Him, the things that you truly value. And if you live according to this long enough, you'll make adjustments to get things right if you've got it wrong. You'll see that, this doesn't seem to work after all. Perhaps I value so-and-so. How many people have decided they hate smoking? They've just stopped. They've tried a dozen times, more, endlessly. And one day they still just stop. Because they come to value something else, and they won't touch it. What a blessing. And that's so with any addiction you've got. You can get to a point where you just stop. You refuse. And it's not always as dramatic as that. Sometimes it's just that you find it no longer pulls on you. It no longer has an appeal to you. Far from loving it, you hate even the thought of it. You won't go near it. It might not even be as dramatic as that. You may simply find that it's gone. It's faded away like dew on the grass in the morning. Just vanishes. Bless you. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.